80% of the air we breathe is an explosive. It's called nitrogen. And this is what is running your vehicle. It's running your plane. It's running your boat. It's running everything. It's because we prime the nitrogen at a certain level. And I figure out how to prime it under a negative pressure so it's safe. So you don't prime it on positive pressure so you can create a disaster. You prime it on a negative pressure, inside the motor on a negative pressure, and it's totally safe. If there's any leaks from there, from the nitrogen after it goes to a positive pressure, it neutralizes itself. And the nice thing about it is when you burn a nitrogen with a prime with high frequency, the final coming out of the exhaust is oxygen and CO2. That's it.
So I wanted to talk real quick about another way that our energy is harvested. And a friend of mine was talking to me about this, and brilliant. But rubber manufacturers, rubber on the cement, all these highways are designed in a certain way, along with all the tire manufacturers producing different tires that are going to resonate on the cement. And it causes frequency, it causes sound. And possibly, you know, each tire manufacturer is going to have a slightly different recipe for their rubber, which can be harvested. And you know, they have different speed limits, which are going to create different frequencies in different areas. So, depending on the kind of frequency and energy boost that they need in certain areas, they're going to raise the frequency level by raising the speed limit or lower it. And speed limits aren't just for that, but also because Earth is definitely not the size that they say it is. So they want us going slower. The speed is a hoax. So what I want to touch on is the jet fuel hoax. And try to tie it into everything else that seems to be electrical, because how Earth is set up, it's electrical. You know, our motherboards are set up like, you know, cities. Those are motherboards. So, the jet fuel hoax, what they tell us is they put 10 tons of liquid fuel in these wings of the planes. 10 tons of fuel in these wings. which would look like that in weight. All those, cars piled on those wings would equal the amount of fuel that they tell us that they put in the wings of the planes. And the wings don't dip, they don't, fall down a little bit when they get all that liquid in there. 10 tons. Well, something's up with that. That prompted me to definitely look into that a little bit more. And it came down to the turbines. And what the turbines do is they pull in the air, which is electrical. Air is electricity, Tesla knew that. Tesla figured that out, pulled the atmospheric energy out of the air, and they pull that electrical air into these turbines, which have tuning forks in them. And these tuning forks can be tweaked and tuned. Right there. And that creates resonance, and that's what creates all that sound when you hear a turbine revving up, It's creating a frequency, which is going to turn that air, when it's compressed, into a gas, a fuel. So it's just taking the air, the electrical air out of our atmosphere, compressing it, resonating it to a certain frequency, a tone that will make it vibrate. Turns it into a gas. Bam, there's your free energy engine using the air.
Okay, so this is going to be the first first experiment with HHO, just seeing if I can get bubbles to start coming out. Okay, so I got this little DeWalt battery here that I'm going to hook up, and let's see what happens. Okay, so you can see automatically there we get some good bubble action. So yeah, this thing's producing, even with small amperage, little 18 volt DeWalt battery. I mean, this is a little HHO generator as well, it's small. And there you go. There's the bubbles, right? And those are gaseous bubbles. I'm gonna try to collect a couple and see if they'll pop. Okay guys, I got this little soapy water here. I'm gonna collect a few bubbles and then take this over here and light it. I got ear protection on, so we'll just see if this whoa, that was loud, huh? That's some pretty powerful gas. I have ear protection on, and that still rang through. My ears are still ringing with the headphones on. So, there you go, guys. Successful first test. Wow. Alright guys, I got my HHO generator here with some new bubblers. They got air stones in them to filter out the sodium hydroxide. I'm not hooked up to the DeWalt battery anymore. What I'm doing is I'm running off my 50-watt solar panel, which has been sitting in the sun to charge up. I got four 3.7 volt lithium 20 amp hour batteries that get charged up, and I can use that with an inverter for 250 watts of continuous power, or we can use it as a HHO power supply, which I thought was pretty cool. So HHO production from solar 50-watt solar panel and some lithium batteries. Pretty good production at that. Okay, so I just wanted to show this separately. It's just a solar panel hooked up with 3.2 volt 20 amp hour lithium batteries hooked in series. Gives me about 250 watts of continuous power. When I first hooked up the HHO, it was 12.7. I let it run for 15 minutes and just disconnected it, and we still have 12.7. So I'm pretty sure this will run off of solar just out of the sunshine. So I'll try that next. So just a flexible solar panel hooked up with some PVC piping, and this can run HHO, which I thought was pretty cool. Okay, Saturday, 2/17/2018. Sun, 50-watt solar panel directly hooked up to small HHO generator with seawater being the only electrolyte being used, and producing HHO gas with the power of sunlight. It's not acid. Okay, so I took two 12-volt batteries and I dumped all the acid out of them. Okay, I cleaned them out, and then I put in a mixture, 2 cups of aluminum into 1 gallon of distilled water, and I filled the batteries back up. And the batteries give off 12 volts with the aluminum spice in there instead of acid. So this water that's in here is not going to burn you. And if you can see the water, but you can touch it, it's not going to burn you. You know, take it out here. It can just rub it all over your face. It's not going to hurt you. It's a spice that they use for pickling. Some cake recipes have aluminum in it too. So. So, life hands you lemons. What do? You make an earth battery with copper, zinc screws, dirt, and you turn it into 12 volts of electricity. Ha 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 ha! Yeah, guys, look at that. An ice cube tray with dirt, copper wire, zinc screws, and lemon juice. That's been in my fridge for 6 months. This was producing about 8.5 volts until I added lemon juice. I have a feeling as well that if composting dirt is used instead of just regular dirt, or different kinds of dirt, you know, that have natural electrolyte in the dirt, this would work very, very well. So again, energy hoax again, right? Now we know what they're doing with the landfills. They're creating the methane gas, turning it into electricity. It's just all these ways that they're producing electricity, and you know what? We could be doing the same thing. Guys, just wanted to show you something here. Could you hold that, Jesse?
Sure.
What I have here is an induction stovetop. I've shown this before, but that's plugged in. And I got this steel plate, which is a 1/4 inch thick. And then I have my homemade bipolar coil. You can put it down, Jess. And that's hooked up to a plug. Okay, so you don't see. You just hold this up in the air so you can see it from top to bottom. And there's the light. So I'm going to put this bipolar coil on here, and you're going to see a resonance field in action. See the light come on? Let me shut off
And like
this
it's not
light.
dangerous at all, see? Like you can touch it.
And I'm going to shut off the light so you can see that it is lighting up the light bulb. And let me plug that back in and shut this off. So what you see there is a wireless form of electricity.